What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to go over 5 more mistakes that sign carvers make, so let's get into them. So as always guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell icon so you get notified when we have new videos coming out. We got a bunch of cool stuff coming up that you guys won't want to miss. So you guys seem to really like the 5 mistakes videos because when you're doing woodwork in general, but especially with sign carving, there's a lot of little mistakes that we make that we're going to try to help you to avoid. So let's start off with number 5.
Number 5. So this is one that I see quite a bit, especially with new people. When you're using layout letters, most of the time when you're getting layout letters for us, it's super easy if you're not used to it to get the letters backwards, upside down, that kind of thing. One great example is the A. The A, if you're using a Clarendon A or a Bookman A and they've got serifs at the top and the bottom, it's super easy to get them backwards, and then all of a sudden you've got a skinny leg on the right where it should be on the left. Another thing that I see a lot is the N. I see those upside down all the time. Another thing that I see on a regular basis is the M's and the W's. So here's a way to fix that. When you order letters and numbers from us, normally we give you a little printout, and that little printout just shows you the orientation of all the letters and numbers. If you don't have one of those, or if you lose it or whatever, just go to Google and print out a layout of the whole alphabet, letters and numbers on whatever font you're using. Just print that out, keep it close to your layout area. That way you can always refer to that and you'll know whether your letters are backwards, upside down. You'll know exactly how to orient them. Number 4. Now this has to do with letter spacing, but not on layout letters and numbers. This has to do when you're doing printout. Have you ever noticed that if you print a word out that the spacing looks kind of off? Looks like there's more space in between some of letters than others. That just drives me nuts, but that's referred to as kerning. But there's a way to fix that. So when you do your printout, draw a bottom baseline on everything, and then what you can do is you can actually slice the paper in between the places that have too much space and then just pull them together a little bit so that that space matches the rest of the wording. So to be very honest with you guys, this is kind of an irritation to me. Most people would never even notice this, so it's kind of your call, but this is a way to fix it if it bothers you like it bothers me.
All right, mistake number 3. Using the wrong spray. Now you guys know that the majority of the time we use the Rust-Oleum Flat Black Primer. This stuff is awesome simply because it doesn't bleed. You still get a good outline when you're spraying your patterns on there, but you won't have to worry about bleeding. A lot of people ask what exactly can they use because they might not be able to find that Rust-Oleum. So anything that says flat or matte finish should be perfectly fine, whether it's colored, black, white, whatever. That's not going to be an issue. However, if it says gloss, semi-gloss, or anything other than flat or matte, it's gonna bleed. Not only is it gonna bleed, but it's also gonna gunk up your sanding discs or your belt really, really bad. Now, even using the primer that we use, if you overspray, it's gonna bleed regardless. And we go over that in this video right here. That's another 5 mistakes video.
So number 2 has to do with the base plate. Now, if you have our base plate, and a lot of you do, if you don't have that base plate sliding smooth on the surface of the board, that can be problematic. You might have a tough time following lines. You might have a tough time just feeling resistance. I don't like any resistance on that base plate at all. So there's 3 reasons that that would be happening. Number 1 reason is that if you've done your layout, you might have residue on the top of the board that you want to get off of there. Brush it off or sand it off, and you should be good. Number 2 reason is the actual base plate itself might just have some gummy stuff on it. It might just have something on there. I love to use paste wax just to wipe it on there real easy. You don't want a whole lot because you don't want to leave that residue on your board, but paste wax is a great way to keep that base plate sliding smooth across your board. Number 3 reason, you might have a cup in the board and it might be going the wrong way. If you've got a cup in the board and it's going more like a smile than a frown, then what's happening is your base plate, the edges of that, could be catching on both sides of your board, and that will cause it not to follow the board and it will stick. If it's got a cup, you can still make a great looking sign out of it, but you want the crown in the center of the board looking more like a frown rather than a smile.
Mistake number 1, using the right bit for the wrong job. So even if you have all the right bits, which you can get in the description below, if you don't use them for the right job, it doesn't really matter. A good example of this is using your profile bit to do the clean out. Profile bit has a specific job, and it's to give the profile of your carving. If you're trying to use that bit to remove a ton of wood, that's not the right job for it. Think of it like trying to use a hammer as a screwdriver. It's great for what it's used for, but not if you don't use it right. Another example is if you're using the carving liner where you should use the profile bit. The carving liner is an amazing bit. It cuts like butter, but you can only go at 1/8 of an inch pass at a time. It's not really designed for stuff that isn't really super fine detail. If you use the bits for the wrong job, they're gonna go dull really fast, or you could ruin them.
So there you go, guys. That's 5 more mistakes that we see on a regular basis. I hope this was helpful for you.
So guys, if you have any mistakes that you're running into or any issues, leave a comment down below, because we're going to be doing more of these because you guys seem to like them, and I think they're helping you out quite a bit.
So the thing is, we've been carving signs, especially me, for so long that a lot of this stuff I don't even think about anymore. It just is a thing. But realizing that there's a lot of new people out there, we're hoping that this kind of helps you over that hump and not have as much frustration, at least as I did when I started.
So guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, you can email us, Ryan@makeawoodssign.com,
Eric@makeawoodssign.com.
and if you got any questions, shoot us an email.
All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. We love you. Bye.
Bye.